Hi everyone, it's Jerry. I'm going to hop into this hourly rapid arena and just get 3 games in. It seems late joining. 54 minutes to go. This was an hour, 57-minute event. 10 plus 0 time control. Been a while since I posted a rapid video. Let's see who we get in round 1. 276 are in here. Okay, here we go. Game 1. I'm assuming it'll be 3 games, maybe 4. Thinker, Sicilian. C3 Sicilian. Okay, I've been experimenting with this move. Meeting E5 with knight back. Okay. I have just been juked. Expecting this one or the pawn to eventually go to D4. They've made a U-turn. No D4. Could still play it with preparation, but it's costing a tempo now. Okay, this feels like a system player. He's going for some familiar structure. Yeah, it can't be the best objectively. So how to approach this? No piece development so far by white. It makes sense to put this guy on D5. There's no worry of this advance, all right. And initially I was thinking take with the queen, or take with the knight, but I think taking with the queen is best. This is a point to put some pressure on now. Bishop F5, Rook D8. Where am I going with this pawn? I don't know. Let me still go here first. I'm pretty sure I know where this light square bishop wants to be, so let's get him there. All right. And I'm going to go straight in for this. So I'm still 3 moves out from castles, a little bit iffy on if this is the best move here, but white has wasted some moves. H3 doesn't really feel productive. More long term, it's useful for the flight square, but there's more important stuff happening right now in the center. Okay, so I see trying to win a pawn in the end. I'll have a rook here. There's bishop E3. Get the pawn back. It'd feel very weird to have to go here to defend, running into more moves. Or a move like knight C3 with tempo. I could still play it where I just continue to develop. E6 should be perfectly healthy. I don't know if I'm really getting anywhere with captures yet. Let's bring it to a point where I'm 2 steps away from castles. I don't want to be too quick to open up the C3 square for the knight. Okay, this is another bishop move. Knight is in a pin. This knight is also in a pin. You get G2. I'm just seeing that if I take here, I'm on the bishop. So I think I'm going to do that. Why not? Took a pawn, generated a threat. A new square has opened up for the bishop, and they're missing that I'm on this guy. Yeah. Guess they had a take here. Missed the lateral movement there. Resigner? Or not? A resigner, okay. So maybe looking more like 4 games will be in there. Maybe 4 will count, and there'll be a 5th played, but it won't count. 285 in here now. 21 points and all out berserk. Yeah, I'm not really ever a fan of berserking these rapid arenas. Just looking to play some quality games. All right. Let's go e4. And let's go for a scotch. Let's see. They're going to play knight c6. Philidor, Petrov. Something else, Philidor. Let's go d4. We'll go with the queen. Pin the knight. Place an emphasis on rapid piece play. This already half open position. This is maybe a moment to pause. Yeah, why? Actually, I was playing those last few moves as if it was blitz. Forgetting here. Rapid time control. So what I'm considering here is whether or not to insert c4 before knight c3. This does increase my control over d5. I think I like that. Yeah, let's go c4 and then knight c3. Not sure where I want to castle. With this half-open d-file, queenside castle is a bit more appealing. But we'll see. So maybe, since I'm up in the air some with where to castle, I should be thinking more about developing my dark square bishop first? Not sure. At the same time, I don't know if it's really a wise choice to go queenside castle now that I have my pawn on c4. It's one less pawn defender for my king. This is the most solid. Also, I just don't feel like I know just yet where my dark square bishop belongs. Yeah, let's just go kingside castles. This one, flight square. Yeah, maybe the flight square. If I try bishop f4, I think this one is available. I don't want to allow bishop for knight exchange. I don't want to have 2 knights versus 2 bishops position. So I guess I'll insert... Well, and here's another thing. I could actually consider improving my knight. Yeah, let me reconsider here. Maybe withdrawing my queen. It's not really doing a whole lot in the center. There's then knight d4, which also helps prevent this f5 advance, which is the only pawn break, really, for black. Yeah, I'm going to go with this one. Another detail, I guess, is that if black tries to put pressure on e4, I don't have to continually devote pieces to defending e4. Once my knight is on d4, I could consider f3, and it ties in perfectly to my dark square bishop. So I guess swing the bat completely around on this idea. I don't know that it's necessary for this bishop to fall back. Maybe it is. Yeah, because the knight on f5 is a pretty irritating piece, and you start to think about sacrifices. Knight f5, bishop takes, queen g3, mate. Yeah, that's probably the most solid. Maybe this is the location for my bishop at the end of the day. Just one step. I'll go with that. And go with this one. Just one step. Why am I going one step? I feel like it's a bit more vulnerable on, well, not vulnerable. Well, yeah, on e3 it's vulnerable to maybe knight g4, f4, knight h5. Also, once the rook is here, okay, that's a really big move. The bishop stays out of the way of the rooks if I want to put them on these adjacent files. So this square right now is huge. So I could get there in a few moves, and there's not really anything black can do to stop it. Going forward, don't really want to end up with double def pawns. Maybe in a situation where I could see this pawn acting as a battering ram, but I don't see it pushing through with f6, so let's not take on a double def pawn structure. So what I want exactly, these guys to be exchanged, these guys to be exchanged, and drop a knight here and it stays there forever. Connection issue. Okay. Well, let's go here right now. Or a position where it's dark square bishop battle specific with the minor pieces. That's cool too. It's coming together now. I have, because of this move, I kind of know where my pieces belong a bit more. So I still have this move. This is covered. These squares are both holes. So yeah, I might have been just too lazy there with rook d1. Maybe as soon as the bishop left this, I should have played knight here, because I would be threatening this and then this. Could still be an idea. Yeah, let me still go here. Threatening a crushing bishop takes h6. Pawn takes, check, knight blocks, mate eventually on g7. Although, wait a second, if the bishop backs off, it's covering those squares. Okay. Maybe at the end of the day, that wasn't the best. All right, before I make this committal move f3, let's just defend. They're having connection issue. Very blinky. Rook f to e1. I'd prefer not to play f3. I think in the end I'll eventually be playing that. Bishop here, if I take, I'm probably asking for some problems after the light square bishop moves. I'm in a pin. It's maybe still possible. I have bishop f4. Defending. We'll see. All right, another connection problem. Rook there to defend. Okay. Nah, let's just put the pawn here. I've given up on any thought of maybe a sacrifice and the queen getting to g3. Let's just stay nice and solid in the center. Make sure no accident happens on e4. This, I think, is met with this one. Maybe I could flick in another pawn move. To be careful, creating a hole on g3, but h3, bishop f3, my bishop is around to watch over that weakness, target a weakness. Two nice notes there. Attack and defense. What I don't want to have happen structure-wise is a piece drop in here, and I don't want to have to recapture with a pawn. Because then this guy, they never have to worry about this pawn. I want this to always be backward, targetable. Not easy to extract this knight. G6 hangs H6. This. My bishop's unprotected on H6, but there's no wonderful follow-up to take advantage of that. Maybe in some positions, if this bishop was here and pawn was here, there's some sacrifice there. Followed up with queen h4 to take advantage of the unprotected bishop, but not here. Okay. Let's sneak this one in. I got my flight square, and maybe I get this maneuver in there. This, I'm fine with bishop, knight to h5 then. Just fall back. Let's do this. So let's count here. Let's go back to basics. Just counting pieces. I got 4 on this. And they have 3. Am I not ready to now win a pawn? Really well coordinated. Okay, running in reverse. So these squares have just lit up in my mind. This is a possibility, maybe. Maybe I go with this one. Yeah, let me emphasize my control over these light squares. This one here, I am kind of thinking about in playing a4 is in fact one day maybe taking with the pawn and having a 5 versus 4 on the king side and center for me, tipping in my favor. And black will have this 3 versus 2, where this 2 restricts these 3 really well. And that's so easy. It's like I consider it an unhealthy majority. This really seems like it's asking for trouble. So if I play here, I'm setting up a discovered check. So what's the plan? This G6 I could take. I'm also on this for how many moves? A lot of moves. E5, G6, knight takes, rook here? Is that the idea? Really don't know how that's playing out. It feels like it's the right way to approach this, but I'm a bit concerned about this and rook d7. I'm not going to go for that just yet. I'll go with this one. And if this, I'm going to take towards the center. I'm going to go for that idea with the structural change. My knight could also make use of the c4 square, which should be excellent, even on the clock. Doesn't seem like they have a connection issue anymore. Not seeing them blinking. Really in the tank here. Oh, here's another detail. Where exactly is the rook going? Bishop takes, pawn takes, has to go over here. Okay. That's a hole now. Just come back. Ton of different ways to recapture on d5. I still think I'm going with the pawn. Okay. Yeah, let's just come all the way back. This crossed my mind as well, so I could play bishop g3. Just extract the queen. That was maybe best. Yeah, what I was thinking is that, oh, if this, then I have to recapture with my knight to make sure my bishop is still defended. But I would have had an in-between move. king h2, bishop takes, knight, bishop g3 first, and then I could... Oh, maybe there's bishop takes pawn hitting my queen. Yeah, safe and sound. Less calculation involved. Nice and cozy. These guys are on their back foot, the knight especially. This rook is a bit clumsy. My pawn is now in a pin. All right. Let's just make a quick move. I'm not exactly sure what I should do just yet. This was appealing, driving the pawn down. Okay. Let's try this. On the rook. If rook here, I have this one, and they have to give up the light square bishop, otherwise I win the exchange. Not exactly sure what my follow-up is if the rook goes here. Okay, this one I am sure. The light square bishop or the rook. Also go with this one. Yeah, this is maybe good too. Get the queens off or win material. Back on the rook, and now I should find it much easier to put everything on this point. I think I'm just winning this pawn. This, here. Might want to be a little bit careful about how I stack the rooks. If I go with this guy's unprotected and maybe allows f5. So a safer approach is this one first. Bishop g5. Let's improve the king first of all. Yeah, I definitely want to go here, bishop there. Putting pressure here, also stopping bishop d4. And I'm on this how many times now? 3. King f1, rook d3, rook d1. Put my full weight on d6. Knight c7 takes. There might be a bishop check. Okay. I could take. It might as well. They have to take with the rook. And before improving my king, I don't want to allow this guy to clamp down on my kingside structure. I want to still factor in positional pawn play before piece improvement there. Okay, now I'm a step closer with my king. This is secure and I'm ready to finally double. Knight exchange. Okay, I guess I'm gonna go for the knight exchange and get the rook and pawn ending in the end. Pivot on the furthest advanced square. Now I'm threatening this. Defending really well. Okay, now they've given me a moment to get this break in. f6 was necessary, I believe. Taking advantage of this weak pawn finally. It's been many moves ago when c5 was played and this weakness on d6 and d5 were created. Take with one rook or no. Let's not allow both or a pair of rooks to be exchanged just yet. I like this guy here. I want to make use of it. Increasing the pressure on h5 allows an outside passed pawn. So if we get into a king and pawn ending, okay, the time is a big problem here, but if I end up with GH versus FG, I'm going to have an outside passed pawn. Okay. King and pawn ending incoming. I'll take here first. If they take here, I exchange and then put the other rook here. Maybe I play here. Yeah, I think this is correct. Say, you take me, I want this pawn. Take. No, this is probably a move. But Okay, they don't have any time. I'm just wondering if this is a one king and pawn ending. Not push here, they're in time. I don't know. Any move is going to win on the clock, but I'm just wondering what's best in the end here. This, here, king up. I'm not sure if it's a one king and pawn ending. I'm actually just a hair curious if the king and pawn ending would have been one. Yeah, because these two pawns do end up restricting these three. Okay, I wasn't really sure the details exactly. One more game will count for sure. Let's see who we get. 333 in here. I got the question mark next to my rating. Been a bit since I played Rapid. All right, there we go. Bit of a wait. All right, let's still go with the Sicilian. Trying to get scholars, mate. All right. I'm looking forward to this move with tempo. Or maybe even this move. Let's see how they react to that. If a4, yeah, I'm almost certain this knight definitely belongs here when I see a4. And it's not only about this control over d4, but the b4 square is nice. So I believe now I'm able to get this move in. They want to stop it, they go here. But in a way, this is their better bishop, even though there aren't fixed pawns. They do have primary construction is on light in the center. Okay, so am I really actually, am I gaining a whole lot with this advance? I guess I am. Can't be bad. Got d5 in with tempo. So here's another detail. Do I want to allow bishop here? I'm going to end up with some pressure on d5 if bishop g5 is allowed. I think it's important to make sure bishop g5 is not available. Okay. And if I go here, I hang a pawn. Maybe here, so that I could play bishop here next. What I'm trying to do long term is play against this bishop. What I mean by that is once I have these rooks connected, I want to get a pawn trio and then c4, and that triangle construction squashes a minor piece. So this is simple, but maybe this guy goes here so that I could play here next. I'm expecting the bishop to be deployed to f4 because, well, where else? Yeah, let's go here. If I go to this square, and there's queen e2, and I don't know, maybe that's a bit irritating. So I could think a bit more about this move. Yeah, why not? Stopping a knight move into e5. This is an intersection square. I got 2 on it. So I'm guessing castles is the way. Get out of the pin. This is now full strength. Fully defended. 2 defenders here. For a moment, it's just 1 defender. Okay, that's a very slow move. Also, my bishop on e6, I'm now saying that I could play this move. Is c4 an idea? c4 takes. Or do I still shoot for this? This one and then here. And are they going for some sacrifice there? Possibly. This here. I would just watch out for that. Bishop there, queen c. Yeah, but maybe I deploy the queen first. Yeah, let's go here. It's not just about connecting rooks, but aimed at stopping. Well, if queen c1, I could play here, defend this pawn, and I'm also stopping bishop to f4. So I'm just going to negate the only idea behind queen c1 as far as I can tell. All of our knights are on good squares. Mine are more stable. White always has to watch out for this idea. So this guy always has to know where his next home is going to be. I think it has a perfectly fine home if I am ever playing this, knight e4. But then we're trading. Okay, so they're going in for that right away. So I was thinking this and then here, but now that the knight is not supporting that square, I feel like I could get this in right now. But also, I think maybe playing c4 here. Okay, they're angling for this square. Yeah, I'm gonna go in for this one. I'm giving up a really big square. Okay. I have to find a new home soon. So I'm almost there. Okay, so here we are. I do have two pawns that are doing a good job of restricting this light square bishop. Not sure exactly where I should go with my bishop if a knight goes to one of these two. Okay, that's a really interesting move. Breaking down my light squares. Okay, gotta go much faster. What am I doing? If I put some pressure on this guy, what's happening? I gotta go quicker. Let's try this. Ready to crush the kingside structure. This was maybe the wrong square to go to, actually, because what's no longer an idea is to meet this capture with a b4. Because it's on my bishop, so this could be some pawn sacrifice idea just to still work against the bishop. So if the knight simply moves somewhere, actually, where does the knight move, first of all? It doesn't have h2. Oh, allowing bishop takes knight, that's super surprising. Okay, I think, yeah. Destroying the king side is, okay, I see a win. I see a win. Yeah, let me just make sure. This, bishop takes, loses the knight. The only other move is bishop here, but then I have b4, and the bishop is forever caged. If I establish pawns on c3 and b4, this guy's dead. Forever. I don't see how they're tracking these two pawns down. I feel like they're conveniently defended. There's other appealing moves as well. This is now unprotected. f3, so knight here, but I think more to the point is just this move here. c3. No time to maybe capture here. I'm on the I'm on the bishop and then the queen and the rook. So bishop there and just b4 and say, what is this guy doing ever? I think that's the way. I got this guy under control with my pawn and my knight. These two control the knight. They might resign. Might. Balanced material position, but this is an imaginary piece. Doesn't really exist here. Pawn takes away some squares from many pieces. Bishop, queen. Okay. Maybe sneak in one more move. A5, or is that even necessary? Not really necessary. Let's just move faster. Knight here I could take and give a check and win the rook. Alright, let's get this one in. I don't care if the knight ends up here anyhow. Knight, take. Knight here, drift over. Fork these weak squares, h4 and f4. Knight would be fantastic on g6. Any exchange should be excellent for me. I have to watch out in some cases if we get into an ending. If we get into an ending that this bishop doesn't go into Pac-Man mode. But I do have this one covered. There really isn't going to be any accident happening here as far as I could tell. They're trying for that. It's like the only point. I could cover it. Knight to g8, but yeah, maybe that is necessary actually. Okay, they're not going for that, so. Oh, that must have been a mouse slip. I am on that. I'm guessing that's a mouse slip. There's no takebacks. Okay. So now just win more material, I guess. Okay. Honestly, I don't even know that I want the rook. I don't want the rook. Just gonna work in on these squares over here. Yeah, they're still playing without a piece and a rook. Knight f4, knight h4. No checks for white. Got these with my queen. Knight here, queen h2. It's looking like the best way, and we'll do it while there's still a restriction on the queen. So king has to return to g2 to cover the mate threat. And I can return here and coordinate with the knight on the light squares. Knight on dark, queen on light. Coordinate well. Just under 15 minutes remaining. Okay. Going straight to mate in that one. Okay, one more game. Probably won't count. But we'll get 4 games in. Let's see. Who's in first? Okay. Okay, let's go e4. A berserk game. Yeah, as mentioned, I don't want to play these with play it as if they're blitz games. All right, we'll just go in the center. Play a French. It's half considering d3. King's Indian attack setup. 2 pawns in the center. g5. e5, e5. Ooh, okay, just baby stepping it. So shooting for some hippopotamus action. let's go with they're playing a bit slower. I'm gonna sneak in f4, knight f3. Oh, wow. Okay, I actually missed that was even a move. Not saying it's good, but yeah, definitely induces some weaknesses. I don't really mind so much that these weaknesses are created. I haven't committed my bishop just yet, so I could put my bishop on g2, cover these squares, and then some. Perfectly healthy diagonal, but I'd still like to leave that option open where exactly to go with this guy. So when I see this move, I'm thinking that I maybe don't even want to castle kingside. I could just go here as well. See if this takes, they're definitely prepared, it seems, to just exchange, go for the exchange sacrifice. So we'll just rule that out altogether. h3, h4, g4. Okay. Connect 4. Maybe connect 5. Getting a little fancy. Totally unnecessary, I feel. Okay, I'm assuming they're maybe gearing up for that one. Let's put this guy here. Cover some weaknesses, some holes in my position. Still staying flexible with my pawn. Okay. So I could go, okay, on this there is a check. Do I just support my center? Push. I mean, this is a move as well. Push, takes. I think I would take with the pawn. I'm pretty quick to get on the open file. Yeah, let's get the space. Computer would probably play this move. Loves the space. Let's play like a computer. Yeah, no piece recapture. And it is an idea to still, like in an earlier game, play against the backward pawn. All right. So my first thought is not to block with the queen. Just king move and looking forward to a pin. I don't know how vulnerable my king is really going to be on f2. There's no development for black. I have space, a lead in development, threatening to win my next move, and there's this hole over here. Instead of knight c3, now that this structure is in there, I'm thinking about this maneuver and some clamp with the a pawn. Pawn on a5, knight on c4 is looking very appealing. Now, how might the structure change on the king side? This, there's that, this, there's that. I could always keep it closed. Really not anticipating any way to disrupt this structure. What squares does black even have available? Let me start with this guy. I'm not concerned about a check on this diagonal. I always have a counter punch. Okay, now I am a little bit concerned about knight e4. I do have to worry a little bit about something. A sacrifice on this square. There's two minor pieces here. Okay. So, given that that might be a move, I think I like this move. Covers knight e4, bishop and knight, and opens up my queen to defend. I still have this check in hand. Okay. This move in c4? Let's see, what is best? I mean, putting the rook on the open file seems supernatural. Castles, though, what's my follow-up? Like, what's my second move? If I go here, this might be a move. I end up in a pin. Knight c2. I guess knight c2. Yeah, I guess knight c2. They don't play. I think they maybe have to try c4 here. I'm really close to having a wonderful clamp on the queen side. Get these moves in. It's going to be really tough for Team Black. Could easily run out of moves. Like, okay, so I'm really close to getting this in. So here's a detail. If they try a knight exchange, I duck it. Knight e3. And then I give the knight a kick and return to c4. Ideally, I'd like to still play with 4 minor pieces, given that I have space. Pawn on d5. Might it try to maneuver over here? Maybe. Okay, get that one in. Now, well, there's extra defense over this square. My eye is continually on the forward moves for Black. This guy especially. This square. Okay, so if I go here, knight here, here, knight here. Did you really do that? I don't know that it's getting Black anywhere. I could go here and I'm threatening to win the knight. I think they have to go back. It's probably in the computer's eyes just a winning position, or I could go here straight away. All right, I think I go in for this now. Yeah. And here's the detail. Once b5 is in, I have this idea to take and then play knight a5. Of course, I am exchanging minor pieces with this sequence, but in a way, I'm extending the scope of this bishop if I have my knight on a5, getting into this square. It's probably slower approaches. I'm going to go for this one, though. They're under 2 minutes. The knight right here. Still a bit of a clumsy piece. This is a half-open b file. The rook doesn't function until the knight goes somewhere else, and I'm not sure where that somewhere else is. So now they have to constantly look out for a knight drop on c6. You probably can't work around the knight. So I'm expecting that if I go in here, they have to take, but then they have to deal with a passed pawn. Okay, I'm going to go one step, I think. Yeah, let's go one. Expecting that move. Yes. Okay, there's a check here. Put the bishop here. Go a little faster. Pawn controls the knight. Bishop restricts the queen to a certain extent. I think running in here straight away, there might be a tactic on d5. Not entirely sure on that one. Okay, taking with the pawn, so now there's another piece that could coordinate with my pawn, bishop, and knight. It may have been a mouse slip. Couple checks for my knight. Well, this is the move that's crying out to me. Queen can't go too far. I think they have to go into a pin maybe, or here. It's not a fun position for black. Okay. Now, there's that one. Also just activate the other rook. I feel like there should be some knockout here. Knight's going to reroute to this square soon. Maybe I jump in now. Maybe. Get a... Yeah, also there's maybe this still available. Let's hop in. And how to recap... I think I'm going to capture with the pawn. Get a passed pawn. This square opens up for my pieces. The light squares become super weak. Down to 30 seconds. And let's take with the pawn. So this one is threatened, winning the knight next. Okay, let's keep the foot on the gas somewhat. This could be a thing. How about the queen right in the center? Queen here if the knight moves, maybe. Or maybe before I even do that, I get my last piece involved. Right here. Rook b8, then there's queen c4, double attack. There might even be knight takes here straight away. Okay. Bishop d5 as well, could be a move. Let's go with the queen here. Threatening mate 1 seconds. Go away. There is this move. Wow. Okay. Let's just go for the queen trade. Knights are on their back foot. Rooks are disconnected. I got the passed pawn. Take with the rook on this guy. And just push. Yeah, down on time. I think that was a well-played game there in the end. And they had a slower approach there. The small pawn center right out of the gates, but okay. In the end, got 4 games in. Throw a GG's all. All right, that's going to do it for this video. Feel free, as usual, to leave any feedback in the comment section below. Hope you enjoyed it, and maybe took a thing or two away. That's all for now. Take care.